How's it going, everyone? I am Walter the Film Hermit, and today I'm really excited to announce another batch of Star Trek movies coming out on 4K. So if you like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel so much. So I'm going to talk about the new Star Trek. Well, they're not new Star Trek films. They're the original Star Trek films. They're finally being released on 4K. If you guys remember, I did a video for the set that came out last year. This one, Paramount called the original 4-movie collection. This only had the first 4 movies. And the purpose of this video is to kind of explain this launch of movies, because it's kind of strange. Paramount Home Video makes a lot of strange decisions. A lot of times studios will do things that aren't in the customer's best interest in order to make more money. But sometimes studio like Paramount will just make odd choices overall that maybe is not necessarily going to make them more money. It's just going to confuse the customer. So that's the purpose of this video, just kind of explain this home video release so you can make the best decision of which release that you're going to get. So to explain, Paramount released this set last year on 4K. And when they did, I was excited and I was happy because I didn't know when we were ever going to get these. A lot of people didn't like the original Blu-ray releases because they weren't happy with the image quality. I thought they were at least better than the DVDs, so I was fine with them. So this set had the Blu-rays in one pack, and it had the 4Ks in another set. And it was the first 4 movies of the series. So the new sets that are going to be coming out are going to have Star Trek 5 and Star Trek 6. So let me just clarify exactly how this is going down. Now that I'm even explaining it myself, now I have all the knowledge, it's kind of hard to communicate because they made it so confusing. So if you have this set, you only have the first 4 movies. You need 5 and 6. Those are the last 2 movies that the original cast from the television series were in. So that will complete your set for that. So what they did was they are releasing a 6-movie collection. So I'll put an image of that right here. So this has all 6 movies that include the original cast. And as you can see, the art is very similar to this art, but they added some of the antagonists from Star Trek 5 and Star Trek 6. So this is a good set to get if you don't have any of the movies on 4K and you're like, you know what, I just want to start and get them all right now, and you want to avoid this set here. So this set sells for $125.99. The other difference with this new set is not only does it has Star Trek, the motion picture, the original movie, but it has the director's edition. So let me explain what the director's edition was. So I'm going to take this image down. When the DVDs came out for the motion picture, the director, Robert Weiss, he was given a budget from Paramount to go back and re-edit the film and add new visual effects to it. So the movie was never done to his satisfaction. There are certain things they had to cut for time and budget. So they used digital effects to go in, and the V'ger effects were redone, and they made the ship bigger and easier to see, and lots of other really nice tidbits that they made. But they did all that work in standard definition. So when the movie came out to Blu-ray, they weren't able to put that version on Blu-ray. They only put the theatrical edition. So someone at Paramount was able to finally convince Paramount to go back to those original special effects elements and go ahead and redo them for 4K. So they did a director's edition, and they put it on Paramount Plus. And it was an exclusive of Paramount Plus earlier this year, and it's going to remain exclusive until September when this edition comes out. So this set will have that edition, which I will show the separate edition of that release now. So this is the separate edition slipcover for the 1979 Star Trek The Motion Picture. This will have a Blu-ray, this will have a 4K in there and a digital code. This will have the director's edition in here in 4K. I've watched this edition on DVD. I tried to watch it on Paramount Plus, but the 4K edition had like a lip sync issue. Whenever I tried to play it, I had to watch it in high definition. So it was nice to have it in high definition, but I'm really, really excited to get this version of it. So this release is kind of complicated because you can get this edition in the 6-movie collection, and then you can also get it in this regular slipcover edition. And this one sells for $30.99. So the director's edition also comes with a complete adventure edition. So let me show this version of it. So this version here is going to have the director's edition in there in 4K. It's going to have a theatrical edition, and it's going to have something called a special longer cut. So back in the 80s, when this movie was released on Laserdisc, they did a special longer cut that had some of the deleted scenes that weren't in the theatrical edition in the movie, but it's never been available in widescreen at all after all these years. So for collectors, this is something that you're gonna want to jump on. It also has some, I'm gonna show you guys the swag. It has a lot of recreated swag that came out around the time the movie came out, like little bumper stickers, little stickers. It has this booklet inside there. It's really, really nice. Now, Bill Hunt on the Digital Bits reported just recently that this is a limited edition. It's called the Director's Edition, the Complete Adventure Limited Collector's Edition. It sells for $97.99. And Paramount's basically saying once these are gone, they're gone. So if you want to jump on it, now's the time to get it. And then they compared it to the Ghostbusters set. I was so tempted to place an order for this because I'm not really crazy about the swag, but the idea of having that other version of the movie that hasn't been available in widescreen in years would be really great to have, especially if you're never going to be able to get it again. But just before I was about to do the pre-order, I really thought this out. This is like nearly like a $60 difference in price from just getting the regular slipcover. And for me, I can't compare this to the Ghostbusters box set because with the Ghostbusters box set, it was the same price as this, but you got 3 movies. You got 3 movies and you got 4 digital codes because they threw that Ghostbusters 2016 code in there that nobody wanted. And it was a really, really cool box. The one thing that's pushing me off this set personally is it doesn't have an Amray case. So the discs are in these little sleeves that you got to pull out every time you want to watch it. For that kind of money, I can't justify, getting it. At least with the Ghostbusters set, every disc had an Amray case and had a really nice slipcover. Personally, I don't really think that this is worth $97. So I'm not going to order this set. I'm just going to go with the regular slipcover. I'm okay not having that 12-minute edition because honestly, a lot of those scenes, not all of them, that they're in the director's edition anyway, which has the new visual effects. And so that's my decision. So I'm going to be going with the slipcover for the director's edition. When this set came out, I knew they were going to do a director's edition and I was okay with buying it later. It's going to end up costing more in the end and Paramount will make a little bit more money, but I've been saying for a long time, I know streaming is really big for a lot of customers that are not diehard film fans like we are, but I feel that one thing that's really hurting physical media right now is the studios are just making too many copies, too many SKUs. They're confusing their consumers, where a lot of consumers are just washing their hands of it and you're like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't understand what I want. There's too many decisions. That's why I'm here to kind of clarify. So basically for me, I'm getting the slipcover because I don't need the swag and that special longer edition really isn't worth the extra money for me. And I don't like the fact that there's no Amray case to protect my discs. So I'm going to go with the slipcover. So what also Paramount is doing is they're doing slipcovers now for all the first 6 Star Trek movies, even the ones that are in this set. So the next one on the list would be Star Trek II, which has a beautiful slipcover. I'm so tempted to get this. This goes for $25.99. It's going to be the same 4K edition that's in this set and the same Blu-ray that's in this set. It has a little sticker on this. This is 40th anniversary because it came out in 1982. This is one of my favorite science fiction films of all time. It's in this set. I watched it. It's beautiful. It looks great. I love this movie so much. I even bought it on digital a few years ago in 4K just because it was on there and I was like, wanted to check it out. This version blows that digital edition away, but I love that slipcover. So the next one that's coming out is Star Trek 3, which again is in this set as well. Star Trek 3, it came out in 1984, The Search for Spock. This slipcover is absolutely beautiful. It recreates the original poster that came out in 1984. And all the marketing material that I remember from this film from VHS, Laserdisc on. Love this art. So tempted to double dip on this. I'm not going to double dip on it because I already have it in here. I'm trying to stop myself from double dipping. I'm making rare exceptions for that case, and this is probably not going to justify that. So the next one on the list is going to be Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home. Now, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but this poster they use for the slipcover, I'm not as familiar with this art. I've seen it before. And Star Trek 4 is the only Star Trek film that I never saw in a movie theater. It was 1986 it came out. Family reasons, we weren't able to go. But the first time I watched it was on VHS. And the VHS used different art. It used this art here. This art with Kirk Spock back to back, and you have the bridge, and you have the bird of prey. That's just the image in my mind that I was thinking of when I see the movie. I don't know why they used this art in the VHS. This art's amazing. It's old school 80s painting. It looks like it would have been an original poster, but apparently it wasn't. But I can't knock Paramount because this artwork they used on the 4K slip is the original poster that came out. There was two. There was the teaser poster, and then there's this poster. And they're both designed by the same designer. His name is Bob Peak. So I love the idea that Paramount's using original poster art for the slip covers. It just happens to be that, for me personally, the VHS art is the art that I've always assigned to this film because it was the same art they used on the laser discs and everything. So I'm not going to be picking this one up. This one goes for $25.99. I do recommend picking up these slip covers for collectors because when they re-released this set came out, they came out with Blu-ray sets that had the original art, but I don't believe they had slip covers. So if you definitely want to get Star Trek slip covers, these are beautiful, and these are probably going to go pretty quick. So the next one on the list is going to be Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. This one came out in 1989. It's directed by William Shatner. This is probably the worst movie of the bunch, but it's not available in this set. So I'm going to be picking, right side up, I'm going to be picking this one up because I want to complete the collection. So this one goes for $25.99. This is the original poster art they used in 1989. Great poster. It's the worst of the series, but it's, I still have a special place for it in my heart. So I want the whole set. I want all the Star Trek films. I'm going to get this one. The next one is one of my favorite films of the franchise, Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. This one came out in 1991. This is directed by Nicholas Meyer. This is the same director as Star Trek II. This will have both the theatrical edition and then the director's cut, the longer version that was available on DVD. It was never available on Blu-ray. That version is actually better. I don't know why they didn't put it on the Blu-ray. That's one of the reasons why people hated the Blu-ray so much. So it looks like Paramount is finally making amends to Star Trek fans, and that's fantastic. So this is the original poster art that we got back in 1991. This was the main poster. There was a teaser poster too that had like the Enterprise and a Klingon head, but then this is the main poster that they released when the film came out. Beautiful, love it. Picking this one up. It's $25.99. So in retrospect, we're only getting 2 new releases of Star Trek films that were not available on 4K before. Technically 3 because we're getting the director's edition of the first movie, which if you haven't seen it, it's pretty amazing the work that they did on it, and it's really great to see it in 4K. So I'm going to be picking up the slip covers for both 1, 5, and 6, and I am going to use as much restraint as possible not to get the slip covers for 2, 3, and 4 because I don't need them because I have this other set. So that goes over the Star Trek releases. Again, these are set to come out September 6th, and I recommend doing your pre-orders as soon as possible, especially if you're getting that, what is it called? The Complete Adventure Limited Collector's Edition. Let me know in the comments, are you getting that edition? Is it worth to you to spend $97 for one movie and a bunch of swag, even though you get a couple of different versions of it? Let me know in the comments what you think. So, editor me, as I'm going through the video, I noticed I just wanted to clarify what I was talking about this release of Paramount being kind of weird. So when this set came out initially, the rumor was that since they only did the first 4 movies, that they would do another set, and that set would be included with having Star Trek V, Star Trek VI, Star Trek VII, which is Star Trek Generations. Star Trek VI is the last film that stars the entire original cast of Star Trek. But Star Trek VII is the last film that has any of them in there because William Shatner, of course, is in Star Trek Generations, along with Walter Koenig and also with James Doohan. That's the last appearance of any of the original characters in the Star Trek films. So the rumor plan was it would be 5, 6, and 7, and then they would do 8, 9, and 10, which would be the last 3 of the Star Trek Next Generation films. So that way you just have 3 box sets, have them all in 4K. This is kind of weird because, like I mentioned in the video, you get 4 movies here, they released another set that has 6 movies, and then now you have the choice of buying them separately. So all the movies that you'd have to start buying them separately for would be Star Trek V, which a lot of people view as the worst movie of the entire franchise. So as I mentioned, I'm going to do it that way. I'm buying 1, 5, and 6 because that's a cheaper option of getting all the films. Now the rumor is that we're going to get the Star Trek Next Generation films in 2023. And the reason they're waiting until 2023 is because the final season of Star Trek Picard is going to air on Paramount Plus. And we'll probably get a Blu-ray and a steelbook release of season 3 of Picard. And the reason why Picard's a big deal for the TNG is because apparently the entire TNG cast is going to be coming back. And this is going to be like their final turn at playing those characters. The subject of Picard is a longer subject I'm not going to get into right now, but it looks like this is going to be the Star Trek Next Generation real finale. So Paramount's going to basically promote the movies and put them on 4K, which the 8th movie, Star Trek First Contact, is now available on Paramount Plus in 4K. I watched a few minutes of it. It actually looks really, really great for streaming, but it's only going to be on there for a month, and it's going to other streaming services. It's weird how they're doing this. So the 4 films in that franchise for Next Generation: Star Trek Generations, Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Insurrection, and then the final film, not final film because there's also the J.J. Abrams ones, but the Star Trek Nemesis. Those are the 10 films that are in part of the prime Star Trek timeline. And then at that point, once those are out, that'll be all the Star Trek films in the franchise available in 4K. So that should be done sometime next year. If you like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel so much. Thank you all for watching. Live long and prosper.